Hello everybody, this is Senior Scuba. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a gear review of the new Halcyon Symbios CCR. I just came back from High Springs, Florida from Cave Country doing my crossover, and I'm going to tell you that I actually had an amazing time up there. Ben Lair was my instructor from the Paragon Group and Cave Country Dive Shop, and I just want to let you know that the absolutely amazing class that I took with him, learned a lot. It was a lot of fun. Very knowledgeable on the unit, and honestly, it was one of the probably very pleasurable, enjoyable crossovers that I've done. It was a lot of fun going into Ginny Springs. It was tough, a lot of flow, but it was absolutely so much fun. The guys over at Cave Country Dive Shop, Justin and the whole crew, very friendly, extremely helpful. They had full of gear that we needed. Pretty much having a Paragon dive store with all their stuff there at the shop is amazing. Anything that I needed, they had. Their gas fills and everything else was very helpful. So really cool to be able to have all those things at my fingertips while during training. So talking a little bit about the actual rebreather. As you see behind me, I own almost every chest-mounted rebreather on the market. I have everything but a FX CCR and a Triton, but I've dove every one except for the Triton. So I can tell you a little bit about what I think and what I like about the Symbios and what I don't like. Overall, the unit is amazing. I really like it. It's small, very sleek, slimline, very lightweight. I'm diving mine with a carbon bottle, both 1.6 and a 1.1 liter carbon. So the unit comes under 20 pounds, so like about 22 pounds with one of the bottles and then under 20 pounds with the other. So the units are tiny, very, very small. The unit itself, extremely technologically advanced. I've been using the what now is the Halcyon Symbios handset and hood for quite a while before it actually was actually Halcyon, but it integrates with the rebreather absolutely incredible. I really love the technology behind it. I'll talk in depth about that shortly in the video. The actual worker breathing on the unit is incredible, really good, upside down, right side up, everything. I tried it all during training and I really like it. It's very easy to use, very intuitive in terms of going from on the bailout valve, going from closed circuit to bailout. All around, the rebreather is amazing. A couple of things I don't like about the rebreather. Number one, that the first stage, unfortunately, is specifically made for 200 bar or 232 bar DIN size valves. People might say that's not a big deal, but honestly, I have dived carbon bottles. Even though I might not fill it up above 3,000 PSI, my valves are 300 bar valves, and I couldn't use my valves during training. I had to get 232 bar valves for my carbon bottle so I can use that. So that was one of the things that was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but hey, you know, can't have everything, right? That was awesome. The other thing that I wouldn't say that I didn't like, but that I think they can do a little bit better is on the outer case. I know they're refining it and still making it better, but some of the features on the case are a little bit hard to use. For example, the pocket on the front, can't really use it. Once you have everything in there, it's almost impossible to open up and use. I think it would be really cool is to make the pocket a little bit bigger and maybe put a zipper on it instead of Velcro. That would be really, really cool and very simple to use, and I can store stuff in there. The bag itself underneath where you feed the cam bands to be able to put on your oxygen bottle don't line up exactly. So again, they're not big things, but these are small little things that I would change, you know, in the future for production unit, for future production units. Maybe fix the outer bag a little bit, make holes line up a little bit better. Also, the hole to reach the push button for the Sentinel is a little bit difficult to get to. But aside from that, the actual unit itself, outside of the bag, is incredible. Very well made, very high quality parts. Really simple and intuitive to put together. So all around, I really love the unit. I really liked it. I can't wait to dive it more. I'm going to be doing some very deep diving with the unit coming up shortly. So I'll give you my thoughts on that. I love the QC6 connection and how it sits, especially the way Ben showed us to do it in class. There's nothing to get snagged. Everything is really compact and small on my chest. So that is something that I really like about the unit. All around, not much more to complain about. The bailout valve itself, I thought was going to be a little bit more like difficult to get used to because, you know, it's not an actual regulator and it breathes absolutely incredible. We did full open circuit bailout, both on the valve and then switching off the valve and going on a regulator. And it was really easy to go back and forth on it. So all around, like I said, A on the Symbios. Let's get together and build the unit and go in a little bit more in detail on what the actual unit's about. Okay, so here's a unit. The Symbios CCR sits inside of a bag. This is what it looks like when it's out. I'm going to go over the different parts and pieces of it and show you how everything works. First, I want to show you the computers. As everybody's seen over the course of probably almost a year to year and a half now, Halcyon has introduced the Symbios handset and the Symbios hood. This is fully integrated into the actual unit. Everything is 100% wireless and works off of frequency hopping and dual antenna spread spectrum inside of the actual CCR. So the components of the CCR are fairly simple. We have a first stage regulator, which has a O2 button. This is the only button that manually injects oxygen. We have the canister, which is in here. This is where the sorb goes into. We have the computer, or what we call the Sentinel, is right here in this area. And then on top, this is a integrated BOV. And I'm going to show you how that works once we turn the unit around and exactly how everything is working. So this unit actually is really cool. So this breaks down very easily into about 3 to 4 different parts, right? So inside here, we hold approximately 5.7 pounds of sorb. Everybody's got their own way of calculating how long it works. Per the numbers, at about 30 degrees of Fahrenheit water and CO2 breakthrough, this canister actually is good for 160 minutes. But again, that's in 30-degree water and CE testing for CO2 breakthrough. Again, I'm not going to tell you how long people have actually dove this and how long I actually dove this on the canister itself. But you guys can do your own calculations and your own way of doing the amount of time you can go on 5.7 pounds of sorb. The Sentinel itself is actually where all the magic happens. Inside of the actual Sentinel, we have 3 O2 sensors, 2 galvanic and 1 digital OptiGreen sensor, which is the digital O2 sensor. The green flash sensors work digitally with the Sentinel that pass on a huge amount of information about the unit. In here, we have ported oxygen that goes from the button if I press it, and as well it gets oxygen on these other lines that goes to the Sentinel, which actually introduces that into the actual system which flows inside of here. Everything is color coordinated, color coded, red for hot air, blue for cold air. And this actually, unlike some of the US rebreathers, all the actual air that you're breathing circulates counterclockwise. So you will ingest air from the inhale counterlung and then back into the exhale counterlung, and it will be going around in a counterclockwise rotation. The counterlungs sit in this area here. I'll show you in a little while once I put the counterlungs on, but I wanted to show you this at the moment, what it looks like without them off, with them off. So this is pretty much the unit itself. I'm going to turn the unit around and show you how the front works, where the BOV is. So this is the front of the unit. Ingestion of DIL is done by a high flow QC6 connection that's connected directly to the BOV area. In the center, these are your loops. The loops are very simple to attach. All you do is press the springs in the back and push in on both sides. This attaches and detaches by just pushing a small button and rotating half turn and off. Same thing with the Sentinel. The whole unit comes together very, very easily. In the center, this is where some of the really cool magic happens. This is kind of like what, this will sit right in the center of your chest, kind of like Iron Man. Right now, the blue is facing up. That is OC, or bailout mode, so you can actually breathe your regulator through your mouthpiece. This is actually CE rated regulator. So when this is in the bailout position, you're going to be getting high flow air from your BOV directly into your DSV. So when the DSV is open, this is in your mouth and you can breathe this just like a normal regulator. If we rotate this, you're going to hear actually a beep, because right now the unit is live and it's packed. I'm going to rotate this. And right now, the unit actually turned on. There is a beep. This is the CC mode, or closed circuit mode. In this mode, if you noticed, these mushroom valves or kind of valves opened up, and now I'm going to be breathing off of the counter lungs. If you look at them, I'm going to close it again, and as you see, they close, which isolates it for BOV. So when I open this to closed circuit mode, they open up, and I'm able to now breathe off the loop just like I spoke to before, right? It's going to be inhaling counterclockwise and exhaling. A little bit different, kind of like most other European CCRs. There's also another function. If I press the button in and rotate it a little bit further, this is closed circuit plus. And what the plus means is that this system, outside of being just a bailout valve, this is also your ADV. So if you need diluent, you would press this, or you can just suck through the DSV and it'll inject diluent into the actual system. The plus means that it's going to be a little harder to inhale diluent. So if you want a little bit of harder way of inhaling diluent, you go to plus, or if you want it normal, you heard it click, that is the regular CC, closed circuit mode, and you can just suck in and it'll hit, pretty much suck dill anytime you are in the almost negative or the lungs are completely collapsed position. As you see, there's a green flash on the Sentinel there. That means that it is on. So I am going to quickly power on this unit, and you can see that at the moment it should take a second. You should be able to see that it says CCR low, and I get a PO2 reading. So I'm going to cancel this warning. So you just press the two buttons. That canceled it. And I'm going to go over to the next page. And here it says, and this is where you're reading the two computers. Inside of here, you have two computers. You have the Sentinel and you have a backup computer, which interrogates everything pretty much manually and automatically. So here, the top, you're going to see a interrogation of the units, and the bottom is going to see as well. So we have dual redundancy there as well. And then on top it says normal. That means it's operating normally. Okay. So right now all the sensors, sensor 1, 2, and 3 from left to right are reading 0.21. The sensor 1 and sensor 2 are galvanic cells, and sensor 3 is the digital, or the digital sensor, which actually works the green flash sensor that they're using, which is a solid state sensor. I'm going to scroll over and I'm going to wireless data, and here you're going to see that it says your PO2, and it's going to be revealing battery, REBC, GPS, and several other things. So this unit is extremely smart. It interrogates a lot of different sensors all at once. And if you scroll through the other page here, and you go to the battery, so the top is your computer battery, and the bottom it says CC, that is the battery of the Sentinel. So the Sentinel has its own battery, and right now it is at 57%. From what I understand, and the manual says it runs about 30 hours. I've heard that it can run substantially longer than that, and there is a reserve when you get down to 0. So it actually is fairly cool. One of the other amazing features on this is your buddy screen. So let's say somebody else was diving one of these Halcyon Symbios. If I put this screen up and I get close to my buddy, I'm going to start reading their PO2 and all their information coming from the Sentinel. So all that information is going to be shown on here. One of the other really cool things is that if you see there, it says O2 tank pressure, which is grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because not only is the Sentinel read information from the what's it called, the sensors that are inside, it also reads pressure from the first stage as well. So you're going to be getting all your pressure of your oxygen bottle and everything all at once on both your handset and your hood. Very, very cool. I'm going to put on the counter lung so you see what it looks like. Okay, so I partially attached the counter lungs and I wanted to show you how easy this goes together. If you look, everything is marked A, B, C, and D. So that's the order you're going to be putting everything on. And you see those locks means that everything is locked in place. And what I mean locked in place is that, for example, if I take the counter lung and I rotate it, that means B to B, and I would push this in and then lock it. And that's it. That's as easy as this goes on, and this is how it works. So I would match B to B, push it in, lock it. Match A to A, push in, lock. Same thing here. I'm going to show you, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'm going to match D to D, push in. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Pushed in and lock. That's it. So D to D, and this is locked at the moment. So that's how this whole goes together. On the exhale counter lung, there is also a pull dump when you're doing dill flushes or anything else. So there's a pull dump here. And on this is the inhale counter lung, which is about double its the size of the exhale. And I believe it's about, you get about 5.7 liters of total volume in here. If the numbers are correct, don't quote me on this, but that's just kind of something I remember. And the way this fits in the bag is that it's gonna fold over here, and this is what's gonna be sitting on your chest. The work of breathing on this machine is incredible. That's one of the things that are actually very, very good, aside from being very light. So this is the back of the unit, and the front of it, where I showed you where like that Iron Man thing was on your chest, that is the front. This whole unit here is going to be going into the actual bag that I am going to put it in, and I'm going to show you what it looks like assembled with a O2 bottle on it. So it's actually very cool. I'm going to put it together now inside of the bag, and I want you guys to look how it looks like once it's all assembled. Actually, before I put the unit in the bag, I wanted to do a positive check and show you some of the other really cool features on this. So right now, I blew a positive, and this is what you're taught in class, to do the positive outside of the bag so you can see any leaks or see or hear any leaks, right? So at the moment, normally on other rebreathers, you would just start your time and look to see if you're leaking by looking at either millivolts or by just kind of watching the pressure and then hearing puff. The Halcyon, like I said, is extremely smart, and the technology behind this thing is incredible. If you look at the computer on the top left, let me see if I can focus in here. It actually says top left 49.7. That's bar. That's M bar positive is what it actually says on that right above it. I'm not sure if you can actually see. It's a little bit, hold on one second. See if I can focus in there. See, it says M bar plus. So it's 49.2 and it's 48.7. This will eventually stabilize, and we're gonna hold that for about a minute, and it'll tell you if it passed or not. So this is really cool. It actually measures all the pressure, and you can actually visually see in the computer. There's no guesswork if you are holding a positive or negative. I'm gonna do a negative check, and then I'm gonna show you what that looks like on here. All right, so I'm accomplishing a negative check at the moment. As you see that the counter lungs are completely collapsed, and the loops are actually also in the negative position. One thing you can hear, the Sentinel is vibrating, and it's telling you that it's low PO2, which it is. I'll show you in the computer. So I am a low PO2 at the moment of 0.17. That's why it's a vibrating. It will not stop. But what I wanted to draw your attention to is the top left-hand corner again. It says M bar negative 43.5, and it's going to slowly start to decrease to a minimum of 35, negative 35 bar. So this is, it's going to be pretty much doing your whole negative check for you, so you can actually see if this is all passing or not. Very, very cool. So that's kind of what it's doing. Okay, so this is the unit completely built. If you look at it, It's all completely in the bag. And one thing I wanted to show you that I have it sitting on a scale, 100% ready to dive, 22.8 ounces, extremely light. I'm using a carbon bottle, carbon fiber bottle on the bottom there. And that's kind of what I use. Everybody uses different. Most people are diving it with aluminum 13s. But this is what the unit is, completely all ready to dive. 22 pounds, absolutely amazing. Love it. I'm going to now put it next to the other chest mount unit so you can see what the size comparison is to the other one. So that's kind of what it looks like completely built. So here you got all the chest mount CCRs on the market. The only ones that are missing here are the FX and the Triton. Starting from right to left, we have the Scubatron GBM CCR. We have the Halcyon Symbios, the Dive Right Optima CM, the Dive Talk Go, and we have currently the side mount CCR S7, and then of course down there we got the Revo, which is a complete different, it's a back mount unit. All of them chest mount units. Right now, the two lightest units are going to be the Dive Talk Go and the Halcyon. They're extremely small and low profile. Obviously, the Go is right there, sitting at under 20 pounds if you're using carbon fiber tank. And the Symbios is, as you saw on the scale a little earlier, is 22 pounds. The GBM is running about, I believe it's about 23 pounds, maybe 24. So they're all very, very close. Not too much of a difference. It all that looks at when you come down to it in terms of what you really want. Each one of them does things just a little bit different. The GBM CCR, it's an expedition class rebreather with needle valve. So that uses, it's a mechanical CCR with needle valve. The Symbios is, I call it the ECCR on steroids, because it not only does it have a low set point, high set point, it also has a sliding set point, which is controlled by the Sentinel, which I pretty much say it's kind of as close you're going to get to automatic as possible. You have your chest mounted Optima, that is a full ECCR. You have a constant mass flow MCCR on the go, and that's kind of how everything works here. So they're all amazing units. I have an extensive amount of time on all of them except for the Symbios, since I just got it. But I will be diving these a lot more. The Symbios and the other units we're going to be going fairly deep on the upcoming months. So stick back to the channel, see some of the amazing videos that are coming up. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe.